There are two things that 95% of golfers always get wrong with their fairway woods, regardless of which loft you have. That's your ball position and where your weight is at impact. Fix those two things, you're gonna hit the golf ball higher, further, and more consistent and help you rely on your fairway woods, whether it's off the tee or off the turf. Let me show you how. I've seen thousands of golfers hit their fairway woods, and all their problems always come back to these two things. Let's start with ball position. They either put the ball too far forward or they play the ball too far back. But when we play the golf ball so far forward in our stance, the club bottoms out early and starts working up too much. Well, now you're either gonna hit drop kicks and fat shots, or you're gonna have a tendency to hit top shots and thin shots, neither of which allows the ball to go far enough. So when we start playing around with ball position, we have to make sure that we're able to bottom out in the same spot every single time. When you play the ball too far back, when we do make solid contact with it, the ball's generally gonna fly a little bit too low. When we get the ball also too far back, you now have to start compensating with your weight in order to try and hit the ball up in the air. That's why you can't just fix one of these, you have to fix both. So what's our standard ball position? Well, if you take a look at the way fairway woods are designed, they're designed like a small driver head. Their faces are actually shallower, meaning they're shorter and they have less grooves. But every single one of them has this nice, sharp edge that's built to take divots. With that said, we have to play the ball slightly behind where you would play a driver so that you can still hit it with a descending blow. If you take a look at the grid from Stack and Tilt, if we're gonna control the low point, we need the golf ball to be played behind the lead shoulder. My standard ball position with an iron is 3 balls behind my left shoulder, which plays it about a ball forward of my sternum. I don't change my ball position with my fairway woods. If I do, it's because it's on a tee, but I only move it about half a ball. This allows me to make ball first contact, take a really small divot, and help me utilize the loft in the design of the club to hit it higher, hit it further, and hit it a lot more consistent. The only time I would start adjusting ball position is when I want to change shot shape. If we move the ball back on the arc, that's usually going to promote a more inside out swing path and is going to help you play a little bit more of a draw. When we move the ball a little bit more forward, expect the draw curve to get smaller, or I'm typically trying to hit a tiny fade. Regardless of where your ball position is, there's no tour pro out there who plays the ball in the same spot they play their driver. They always play it further back. Before the end of this video, I'm going to show you better players a little trick that you can do with a 7-wood or a 9-wood that's going to give you the ability to hit any trajectory on command with your high lofted fairway wood. Secondly, weight position at impact. Every tour pro who hits a fairway wood has their weight moving forward at impact. This is absolute and the key principle behind Stack and Tilt. If our weight is not moving forward properly, we're going to bottom out behind the golf ball. The club is going to either bounce off the ground and we're going to chunk it, or we're going to bend our arms just prior to impact to try and time where we hit it, promoting an upward angle of attack and a strike on the club face that is too low. When we hit the ball in the middle of the face, it's going to launch a little higher and it's going to spin less. Getting your weight more forward at impact is crucial regardless of your ball position in order to help the ball go up in the air, fly further, and be more consistent. The greatest drill you can do uses an alignment stick. We set the alignment stick up so that the alignment stick is on our sternum at setup and the golf ball is going to be about a ball ahead of that. Now I know that my ball position is in the same spot every single time. I recommend doing this with a tee pushed all the way down into the ground the first time in case you mishit it a couple times. You don't have to consistently move your stick. You can just put the ball on a tee and do this again. We take our practice swing setting up with the ball slightly forward of it. We're going to practice making slow swings at first, pushing our weight in front of the stick and brushing the ground in front of it on the target side every time. If you can do this 3 times at this speed, now we can start making longer backswings and we can actually start speeding it up. Speeding it up, same thing. 3 swings, always moving the weight forward. If the ball gets too far back and I'm trying to move my weight forward, there's not enough loft on this club to make the ball go up. If my ball position is correct, I now can hit down on the golf ball slightly, have enough loft on the club to make the ball go airborne, and I can utilize the way it's designed. If the ball gets too far forward, now we have to move almost greater than Scotty Scheffler towards our target. That's extremely hard for a lot of people to do. So when we start hitting shots, make a lot of practice swings, just brushing the turf in front of the stick. It doesn't matter if it's a 3-wood, a 4-wood, a 5-wood, a 7-wood, a heaven-wood, or a 9-wood as Tommy Fleetwood's now playing. You need to brush the ground or take a small divot. Most tour pros hit down more than a degree with their fairway woods. Hitting down is not a problem just because you don't feel like you have tour quality speed. This club is built to hit down on the golf ball and launch the ball airborne. Stick is on my sternum, ball position slightly forward of my sternum, and all I'm trying to do is get my right hip and my right shoulder in front of that stick. Nice tiny push draw. This is my 5-wood. It went 234, which is about where it goes. It launched at 11 degrees, it spun at 3,700. It peaked at 105 feet. That's what I want it to do. Let's do it with a 7-wood. My ball position's not gonna change. Stick on the sternum. Ball position's good. Move the weight and the right hip and the right shoulder in front of the stick. .225 in the air. Standard 7-wood. Launched it 14 degrees, peaked at 105 feet. That's what we want it to do. 3-woods are a little bit of an exception off the deck in the fact that you have to understand what your fairway wood's designed to do. Modern 3-woods are built to be more tee box replacements. When you do hit it off the deck like I'm doing here, you're doing the same thing I did with my 5-wood and my 7-wood. Ball position, slightly forward of the sternum. Get the weight, right hip, right shoulder in front of the stick. That ball came out a lot lower, hit it pretty solid. Ball carried about 250, rolled out to 265. It only peaked at 80 feet. Spin rate was right around 3,000. Off a tee, the tee height is going to raise the impact point, and that's going to help you launch it higher and spin it less. So off the tee, you're always going to hit your 3-wood a little bit further than you will off the deck because of the way it's designed. When you hit it off the deck, you hit it a little bit lower. And when you hit a little lower on the face, it's going to launch a little lower. It's going to spin a little more. If this video has opened your eyes into the things you need to do to hit your fairway woods better, make sure to like this. Leave a comment below what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. Smash that hype button and make sure to subscribe so you don't ever miss out on content. Here's everybody's bonus tip. 7-wood. My 7-wood is lofted at 20 degrees. It's a degree strong. One of the things I love doing with my fairway wood, especially off the tee, this has replaced my 3-iron for me. As I've gotten older, it's a lot easier to get a 7-wood to elevate and land soft when I have to hit it into a really long par 3 or into a par 5. Well, there's plenty of tees out here and golf courses in Texas that rely on me to hit that shot off the tee, but if you tee it up and it goes a little higher, it doesn't roll out as far. So the ball has a tendency to come out a little bit too high. So when I'm on the tee and I start playing around with my 7-wood, I actually move the ball position back of where I would normally play it. And I do so by about 1.5 balls. What I'm actually doing here is I'm gonna push the handle forward and de-loft the club just a little bit. This is how Tiger plays his stinger. He doesn't move the ball back much. He moves it back 1 ball. He pushes the handle a little bit more forward and he keeps the handle forward more at impact to de-loft it. So my standard 7-wood launches around 14 degrees. When we take our setup here with the ball slightly back, either on the sternum or slightly behind it, and the handle a little bit more forward, watch what this does. Well, now that ball carried, instead of 225 in the air, it carried about 205 and rolled out 30 yards and rolled out to 235, and it launched at 4 degrees. Spin rate was only 3,400. That's normal. But now I can hit a stinger shot off the tee when I have to with the most lofted fairway wood in my bag. If you remember nothing else today, remember this. Every fairway wood, same ball position, get your weight moving towards the target at impact. You do those things, you're going to hit the ball a lot higher, a lot further, and a lot more consistent. We'll see you guys next time on the Golf TyKoon.